One of the few good things to come from lockdown has been the numerous Doctor Who lockdown watchalongs that occurred between March and June and were organised by Emily Cook from Doctor Who magazine. They were a fantastic means to bring the community together that also expanded on the episodes themselves, through the cast and crew tweeting about production and special videos being created to mark the occasion. In this video, I will be looking back at these Doctor Who lockdown videos and talking about the 5 that I felt were the very best. I hope you enjoy. At number 5, we have The Raggedy Doctor, which was produced as part of the watch-along for the 11th hour. The main reason I enjoyed this video so much was because of the presentation. It was a really clever idea having the video be a diary entry from Amelia Pond, as it allowed the video to be made under the restrictions of lockdown, while still being visually pleasing. I especially loved seeing the cute illustrations drawn by Sophie Illis. Not only were they well illustrated, but it felt as though Amelia Pond could have drawn them herself. And speaking of Amelia, it was great to hear Caitlin Blackwood voice the character again. Overall, this is a sweet video that fits in nicely with the canon of the show. At number 4, we have Pompadour, made for the watch-along of The Girl in the Fireplace. Despite being one of the shorter lockdown videos we were treated to, this one made much more of an impact on me than many of the other videos did. This is in no small way down to the twist at the end, that reveals that the SS Madame de Pompadour is sentient and believes itself to be the real thing. As in the main show, Stephen Moffat demonstrates his genius writing through making it appear at first as though Renette is remembering her experience with the Doctor, before gradually revealing we're hearing the ship's thoughts rather than hers. This is aided by stunning visuals that hint at there being more to the video than meets the eye, through the frequent flashes to the SS Madame de Pompadour. There's also a beautifully haunting score that underpins the whole video, which I couldn't stop listening to for days afterwards. I would highly recommend you give it a listen if you haven't already, as it's incredible. There'll be a link to hear the score on its own in the description below. In conclusion, this is an amazing video that makes a heartbreaking episode all the more heartbreaking. At number 3, we have The Secret of Novice Haim, created for the double bill watch-along of New Earth and Gridlock. I was amazed at the quality of this video. I went into it with low expectations due to how it focused on Novice Haim, a minor character from the show, but I ended up being blown away by how beautiful it was. Russell T Davies further proved how extraordinary a writer he is, through his detailed and well-written descriptions that paint a vivid picture of the final days of Novice Haim's life. And I was thrilled to hear a new score from Murray Gold in the video. As expected, Murray provides some deeply emotional music, which aids Russell's beautiful writing perfectly. It's when the 10th Doctor appears halfway through though, that the video truly becomes something special. It was a genuine surprise to hear David Tennant play the Doctor again, as I honestly thought no previous Doctors would get involved with these lockdown videos. Hearing him interact with Anna Hope, the actress who played Novice Haim in both this video and the series, was a delight, and reminiscent of the 2 episodes they appeared in together. You could tell that both actors put effort into their performances. Anna in particular gave a believable performance of someone on their deathbed. Really, the only aspect of this video I didn't enjoy was how it didn't deliver on its promise of Novice Haynes sharing her final secret. You could argue leaving it as a mystery creates intrigue. However, I personally feel like there was no point implying there to be more to New Earth than meets the eye if it was ultimately going to be left unexplained. At number 2, we have The Doctors Assemble. Unlike the other Doctor Who Lockdown videos, this wasn't produced as part of an episode watch-along. Instead, it was made to celebrate the show's half birthday on the 23rd of May. And what a celebration it was. This was a really fun video that had a fantastic concept at its heart. All the Doctors interacting with one another in what is essentially a TARDIS Zoom call. There were some extraordinary impressions in this, particularly in the cases of the 3rd and 4th Doctors, played by John Coleshaw, the 7th Doctor, played by Wink Taylor, and the 11th Doctor, played by Jacob Dudman. In my opinion, they sounded exactly like the Doctors they were impersonating. The only thing that stops this video being perfect in my eyes is the poor characterisation of the 13th Doctor. Like many others, I felt it misrepresented Jodie's Doctor by giving her Generation Z type dialogue. I couldn't help but cringe every time I heard her say things like "OK Boomer" and "New phone, who dis?" Other than that though, I thought the Doctors were characterised well. It was easy to believe that they would react to each other in the way presented in this video. In summary, this is a tremendous video that demonstrates just how talented Doctor Who impressionists are. Before I unveil my number 1 spot, here are a few honourable mentions. Rory's story. It may be unrealistic that a phone would survive for so long in the past, but it was a joy to see Arthur Darvill play Rory again, and it was especially cool to hear Karen Gillan voice Amy at the end, even if it was just a short line of dialogue. The best of days. Much like with Rory's story, it was great that both Pearl Mackie and Matt Lucas agreed to play their characters again. They gave 100% in their performances in this, and while it's questionable as to whether it can be considered canon, this video had a really profound message behind it, which is commendable. The Long Song fan cover. This was a wonderful way to unite Doctor Who fans around the world. I may not be a fan of some of the instruments that were used, but I can't deny the sheer talent that went into this video, both in the performance and producing a video of this scale. And so, it's time to reveal the number 1 spot. Without further ado, at number 1 we have Farewell Sarah Jane. Of course, number 1 was always going to be Farewell Sarah Jane. This was an astonishing video that was so powerful and moving that I actually teared up watching it. It was brilliant that so many Sarah Jane Adventures cast members returned to their roles, especially because, unlike with the majority of the lockdown videos, we actually got to physically see the characters again, rather than just hear their voices. Everything may have been filmed by the actors themselves, but it really felt like we were getting an extra mini episode of the show. Everyone gave such truthful and heartfelt performances, but I particularly want to draw attention to Meena Anwar and Anjali Mohindra as Geeta and Rani Chandra respectively. Their performances were so astounding that they caused me to tear up. Of course, this was aided by both a moving score from the show's composer and extraordinary writing from Russell T Davies. As with The Secret of Novice Haim, Russell's writing in this is beautiful and truthful to all the characters. But what I especially loved about it here is how it expanded on the Sarah Jane Adventures universe. My only gripe is that Alexander Armstrong didn't return to voice Mr. Smith at the end, but this is a minor quibble in a practically flawless video. This was a wonderful epilogue to the Sarah Jane Adventures universe and a heartwarming tribute to both the character and Elizabeth Sladen herself. Farewell, Sarah Jane, and thanks for all the memories. So there we have it. That's what I believe to be the top 5 videos to come from Doctor Who Lockdown. Let me know in the comments what some of your favourite lockdown videos were, and be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. All that's left for me to say is thank you very much for watching. I shall see you next time.